Hello everyone. Did you get your newspaper today? The sound of paper, the smell of ink, and the headlines with morning tea. This is basically a daily habit for millions of people for years. So in our project, we are going to find a digital relevance with our analysis and going to share the strategy for its relaunch. The analysis identifies where to restart digital operations, which cities to prioritize, and what strategy will ensure sustainable growth in today's new market. So now coming back to problem statement, Bharat Herald, a 70-year-old newspaper with 1.2 million print circulation, has seen sales plus to half at 560k. Also, its 2021 digital pilot project also failed. Now, Bharat Herald faces lost advertiser issue, financial losses, bureau closure, and job cuts. But what if the data could rewrite the story, mixing with its older trust and legacy with the digital reach? I am Vishwajit Prasad, and now we will explore together if Bharat Herald survives or fades away. So our journey starts with this landing page called Hub. It's a gateway to all pages: overview, distribution, monetization, potential, cockpit, conclusion, and the action plan. Overview shows ad revenue, sales, and wastage. Distribution reveals city level spread and trends, while monetization highlights ROI and the ad performance. Potential points to the new opportunities, and the cockpit acts as a control panel with all filter keys. And finally, conclusion and action plan bring everything together for Bharat Herald's growth. So that's the quick dashboard too. Now let's dive into the key questions, challenges, and the insight. So our first research questions look at the trend in the copies printed and the copies sold across all cities from 2019 and 2024. What we see here is a clear and a steady decline. The bar chart makes this evident. Printed copies have continuously dropped year after the year, and the sold copies follow the very same downward curve in every cities. Together this points to a persistent fall in circulation. Now let's move to our next research question. So our next research question is, which cities contributed the highest to the net circulation and copies sold in 2024? And are these cities still profitable to operate in? So from the bar chart, we can see the Jaipur stands at the top with 4.4 million printed copies and leads in the sales volume as well. Very close behind Varanasi with just 0.09% difference in total circulation compared to Jaipur. These two cities clearly dominate in terms of print and sales. And as for the second part of this question, whether these cities are still profitable, we are going to uncover that later along with our seventh research question. Now let's move to our next research question. Our third research question is, which cities have the largest gap between the printed copies and the net circulation, and how has that gap changed over the time? What we observe here in this bar chart, the Banaras and the Jaipur show the highest gap between the printed and the sold copies, followed closely by Mumbai, Delhi, and Kanpur. And when we need to calculate in terms of the percentage, then Delhi leads with the highest wastage copies. Now when we look at the trend from 2019 to 2024, the gap has been reducing because the Bharat Herald management has been smartly adjusting production in line with declining demand. While this strategy has helped control wastage to some extent, we can still see the gap remains significant in several cities. Let's now move to our next research question. So our next research question looks at how ad revenue has evolved across different categories between 2019 and 2024. Now from the monetization view, we can see that the government ads leads at 652 million, closely followed real estate at 644 million, and FMCG and automobile both stands at near about 432 million. But when we break it year by year, a worrying trend emerges. Now we can see that FMCG revenue has continued decline, with signaling lost trust from those clients. On the other hand, government, and the real estate have shown steady growth. Now let's move to our next research question. Next research question is, which cities generated the most ad revenue and how does that relate to their print circulation? Now from the heat map, Patna clearly leads with 232 million in ad revenue, followed by Bhopal, Mumbai and the Jaipur. Now, when we compare this with circulation, using the line and clustered column chart, we see an interesting pattern. There is no direct link between the circulation and the ad revenue. This is because revenue is driven more by the city level advertisers and the vendors. A city with a stronger local economy, high value sectors and active local businesses can generate more ads regarding of the copy numbers. So here circulation tells us one story but advertisers tell another. Now let's move to our next question. Now our next research question is, which cities shows high digital readiness but low engagement in digital pilot? Now from this matrix, when we sorted readiness in descending order, Kanpur tops the readiness score but shows only 41% engagement. Varanasi follows with strong readiness but just 57% engagement. This gap reveals a big challenge. Readiness alone does not guarantee the adoption. The real question is, how can Bharat Herald bridge this gap and turn potential into the performance? So our next research question is, which cities had the highest ad revenue per net circulated copy? Or is this ratio improving or worsening over the time? Now let's explore which cities are getting the highest ad revenue per net circulated copy. Lucknow, Patna, Ranchi are leading the way. Over time, this ratio is improving in some cities, while in other, it's getting worst. Now let's move to our previous question, which we left in question number 2, that whether these cities are still profitable. So let's find that. So to answer the second part of the second question, I have conducted some personal research on how news agencies run their businesses and what factors determine whether a particular agency is profitable and sustainable. So the cost structure of newspaper industry depends on two broad factors. Major costs include newsprint, ink, printing, labor and distribution. Second, supporting costs cover editorial work, administration, marketing and wastage. So, based on my research, the average cost of producing a single newspaper today is approx 15 to 16 rupees, considering both major and supporting factors. However, as Bharat Herald is positioned as a regional newspaper, the market selling price remains about 6 rupees per copy. Now, let's take Ranchi as an example to understand the return on investment. On average, each newspaper generates rupees 18 in ad revenue. Adding the rupees 1 to vendor commission to the cover price, Bharat Herald effectively received rupees 5 from the circulation revenue. This means the total revenue per copy is approximately rupees 23, 18 from the ads and 5 rupees from the sales. So from the circulation, a clear industry insight emerges. If ad revenue per copy in a city is below rupees 15, that office operates in loss-making condition. If the combined ROI as plus sales is between rupees 20 to 22, the center is at break-even. And when the total ROI exceeds rupees 25 plus per copy, that center begins operating at a profit level. This framework shows that the advertising revenue is the real lifeline of the newspaper business, and cities unable to cross the rupees 15 ad revenue threshold remain financially unsustainable. So our next research question is to prioritize the top 3 cities where the phase 1 of the digital relaunch. So based on the digital readiness and the adoption gap and the print decline, the top city we should prioritize for the phase 1 are Kanpur, Ranchi and Patna. These cities are not only show strong readiness but also reveal a significant adoption gap, meaning there is a huge opportunity to fast track engagement with the right strategies. So now let's move forward to our next step, the detailed further analysis and the recommendation. So now we come to the further analysis and the recommendation. So here is what should Bharat Herald phased digital transition strategy look like given the readiness and engagement data. So coming to the action plan, we discussed digital transition strategy. Bharat Herald should move step by step into digital. In phase 1, launch in Kanpur, Ranchi, Patna, with Patna as the primary city due to its strong revenue and digital readiness. This ensures quick wins and the user adoption. Phase 2 should expand into the mid-readiness cities with large youth bases, building steady growth. And finally, in the third phase, Bharat Herald should build a full digital ecosystem with WhatsApp first news, podcast, newsletter, Instagram, and their own app. With India's regional digital leadership growing at 18% of CGR, real-time analytics will help track management and guide monetization. So coming to our next research question is, how to regain advertiser trust to win back the advertiser? So to regaining advertiser trust, Bharat Herald must show efficiency and innovation. It should cut print wastage and in every cities, proving every rupees count. Next, we must diversify ads beyond government and real estate, which is 65%, tapping more to FMCG, retail, education, and several political parties. Finally, advertisers need smart detailed choices. Bharat Herald should offer bundles combining print, news app, WhatsApp, Instagram, and YouTube, and share engagement data to prove campaign success. If implemented well, these steps could help Bharat Herald recover 10 to 12% of lost ad revenue in coming months. So our next question is, what changes to the content format or delivery might boost digital engagement? So to boost digital engagement, Bharat Herald must go to the mobile first. We should launch WhatsApp bulletins for daily quick updates, and the e-paper should be redesigned for faster loading and smoother navigation, and also build a dedicated news app which should be free at first, then add premium features like ad-free reading, archives, and the exclusive reports at 49 to 99 rupees per month rate. And by adding short videos, polls, quizzes, and live Q&A on Instagram and YouTube can attract young audiences. With these steps, Bharat Herald could increase monthly active users by 25 to 30% in the first year. So our next research question is, what role can subscription bundling, loyalty programs, or pay-per-article models play in revenue recovery? So, revenue recovery models, new models can help reduce dependence on advertising. Subscription bundling, like New York Times, Bharat Herald can offer an affordable package combining the app, e-paper, WhatsApp, and the newsletters. Loyalty program, like the Hindu, discounted renewals and the subscriber-only events can improve retention by 12 to 15%. Pay per article, inspired by the Bloomberg and the Medium, occasional readers can pay for premium reports. This model could lower reliance on the ads in coming years. So our next research question is, how can Bharat Herald leverage local influencers or journalists to re-stabilize digital credibility in the regional market? So to rebuilding credibility with local voices, Bharat Herald must reconnect with the people through local voices and events. Regional journalists can run explainers, debates, and the live sessions, rebuilding trust in reporting. Local influencers, RJs, and VJs with 2K to 200K followers can create short, relatable content for youth. At the community level, Bharat Herald should sponsor local cricket, football matches, and festive events, and act as media partner by offering free publicity. A weekly youth ambassador program can highlight achievers in academics, social work, or research, making youth feel represented. Through cross-promotion by influencers and ambassadors, Bharat Herald can increase organic reach by 40% without extra marketing spend. In short, Bharat Herald can transform by going digital in phases, rebuilding advertiser confidence, boosting engagement with mobile-first format, creating new revenue through subscription, and regaining credibility with local voices and events. And with that, we have reached the conclusion of our research on the legacy newspaper brand. But before we wrap up, let's take a look at some ad hoc requests from Bharat Herald to address a few additional queries. To access ad hoc, we simply head over to the Hub section of the dashboard. From here, you can easily download the ad hoc solution you need. So coming to our ad hoc business request, you can download all queries SQL file from here. Now coming to our first ad hoc. So this is our ad hoc request 1. Generate a report showing the top 3 quarter 2019 to 2024 where any cities recorded the sharpest quarter-over-quarter decline in net circulation. Here this is the output and this is above our query. So the biggest quarterly drop was in Varanasi in 2020 quarter 2 with a drop of 1,22,217 copies. It faced another sharp decline in 2024 quarter 2 with 1,20,815 fewer copies, showing a recurring issue. And Kanpur in 2020 quarter 3 also saw a major drop of 1,19,158 copies. Now coming to our ad hoc request 2. Identify ad category that contributed greater than 50% of total yearly ad revenue. So this is the query and this is our output. And from 2019 to 2024, no ad category made up more than 50% of yearly revenue. The highest was the government category in 2019 and that is 35.54%. Now coming to our ad hoc request 3, for 2024, rank cities by print efficiency. So here is Ranchi tops the 2024 print efficiency list with 95.06%. These were circulated, followed by the Ahmedabad with 94.82%, Patna 94.67%, Jaipur 94.66%, and Varanasi at 94.63%, followed closely with a small gap among the top 5. So coming to our next ad hoc request 4, for each city, compute the change in the internet penetration from quarter 1 2021 to quarter 4 2021 and identify the city with the highest improvement. So this is the output and we can see Kanpur saw the highest internet penetration growth in 2019, increasing by 2.15 points from 74.5% to 76.65%. Whereas Patna, Bhopal also showed steady gains, reflecting positive digital adoption. Now coming to our next business request, ad hoc 5, find cities where both net circulation and ad revenue decreased every year from 2019 through 2024. So this is our query and this is our output. This shows ad revenue is increasing in cities like Patna, Varanasi, Jaipur, Lucknow and Ranchi, while in the rest of the cities both print circulation and ad revenue are declining. So coming to our ad hoc request 6, in 2021, identify the city with the highest digital readiness score but among the bottom 3 in the digital pilot engagement. So here we need to find outlier. So this is the output. Here we see that the Kanpur emerges as the key outlier in 2021. So now let's deep dive into our dashboard. Starting with the hub page where you will find all navigation of different pages like overview, distribution, monetization, potential, cockpit, conclusion and the action plan. Now here in overview page, we can see our major KPIs of ad revenue and their comparison with the present ad revenue from 2019 and 2023. Also we have sold, printed and wastage copies details as the other scorecard, and below are the area chart showing how it's falling year by year. We have a city and state level based filter here, and we have a bar chart showing printed, sold copies and the wastage copies circulation record. And here you can check any city record year wise through this tooltip. Now coming to the distribution page, here we have a major scorecard showing totals, printed copies, sold copies and the wastage copies from 2019 to 2024. Here we have a gauge chart showing total printed copies and sold copies numbers showing 94.6% copies are our net circulation. Now yearly ad revenue through the bar chart and a waterfall chart showing wastage trend with the heat map showing highest to the lowest ad revenue trends. Now here we have a monetization page. Here we have a monetization page in which this is our major KPIs showing revenue of 2024 and its comparison with 2019 to 2023. And this is the average ROI of each copy from 2019 to 2024 along with city level and tier based cities filter. Now in this, we can see the circulation trend along with the ad revenues. In this, we can see category wise ad revenue from different advertiser from category wise and the yearly briefing too. This is our potential page showing major KPIs like total pilot investment in 2021, readiness index of all cities, engagement rate, bounce rate and the adoption gap. From this filter, we can find out any city's detail. Here in this table, each city ROI throughout the year along with geo views of all center of Bharat Herald where it operates. In below, we can check and choose our cities for the phase 1 by observing readiness index and the adoption gap. So now our journey comes to the cockpit page, which is basically the command center of Bharat Herald, showing all sort of details and requirement along with year-wise, city-wise, and the tier level filter. And lastly, we have a conclusion of the outcomes comes from dashboard, and finally the action plan for Bharat Herald, showing how they can survive and make their business sustainable and profitable although. So I am going to provide the live dashboard link in the post. Must go through my dashboard and share your views and suggestion for the improvement for my next project. So thanks for your patience for being with me throughout my project. Radhe Radhe.